video, Ecouia does Narita. So Narita is a city that's about an hour and 19 minutes outside of Tokyo, Japan. And the hotel that I was staying at has a van that's free that will take you down to the train station. So if you want to go into Tokyo, you can do that. But I opted to stay in Narita because I wanted to go to the Shinshaoji Temple. So here I am entering the Narita train station. So here I am entering the train station. They were doing some work there at the train station. And you can take the train into Narita. I'm not sure how much yen it is, but I know it's about an hour 19. So here we are walking in out of the train station into Japan. And this particular area in Japan, when you're walking to the temple, is like an old Japan, how Japan looked before it got more modern with the buildings and high skyscrapers and things like that you would see in Tokyo. And it really almost reminded me, I felt like I was on a movie set with all the buildings, and there's a lot of shops, a lot of noodle shops. There in Japan, they drive on the opposite side of the street that of us here in America, excuse me. And as you can see, there's the driver sitting on the opposite side. So when you're crossing the street, you have to be very careful. So here we are walking further down, going to the temple. And this street is so narrow, and cars go both directions on the street. I even seen a bus go down this street. There's the top of the temple. And as I was making my way, sorry for the shoddy camera work, but filming just the different stores that are selling food and herbs and different products. Yeah. And so here you can get it like a better feel for the street. But it really, really did feel, like I said, like a movie set. You know, you felt like you were back in time in old Japan. And these are just more restaurants as I'm walking along. Cleaning up, and they were getting ready to open up shop and sell. There's a mailbox. I love mailboxes. If you watch my travel videos, you have seen me film several of them. So there's the one for Japan. And walking, I stopped and filmed this gentleman in Japan because Japan is just an island. All the seafood there is so good and it's so fresh, and I'm a big seafood person, so if you like seafood, Japan is a good place to go. Here he is skewering the fish, I guess getting ready to cook it for the day and open up the shop. And as you can see, he's just moving right along, pushing those skewers right into those fish, not missing a beat. So I wanted to tape that because I thought it was interesting. So here we are again, getting a little closer into the temple. And here's one of the entrances. I couldn't read what it says, but of course you don't smoke. I don't know Japanese very well. But here we are at the Narita Shinshaoji Temple. And this is a world-famous Buddhist temple. People come from all over Japan to come see the temple. When you enter, there's a little pond that was full of turtles, and turtles represent long life. So I wanted to make sure I filmed that. Outside, before you actually go into the temple, there's a lot of vendors out selling kids' toys. They were selling like herbs and fruits. As you can see in the back, there were some other vendors. So taping that, showing you the vendors here. And there was a waterfall with a dragon, and out of his mouth, as you can see there, water is flowing out. And I noticed that people were taking and cleaning their hands and taking a drink of the water outside before they went into the temple. So here I am doing that. It was really cold and windy, so I had my jacket on. So there's more vendors I'm passing up, and as you go up those steps, you enter into the first level of the temple, and those steps, you guys, are quite a few steps, so it is a workout. So here I am. I've went up the first set of steps and just filming on the left, and on the right there is a waterfall, and there's a pond, and people were throwing coins in there, I'm assuming probably for good luck. And this is all this beautiful stone and rock work that are outside. And they're building on the temple. Still, it's huge. There's very different temples. Here's one building. And the color is not doing it justice. I'm sorry on my camera, but the buildings are just gorgeous. So this was one temple, and it was surrounded by these gold boxes. I'm not sure what they meant because there's not a lot of signs in English at the temple. But they were just all the way around the temple building, as you can see. There was another building. It was closed. Here's a map, so you can see how big the Narita Son Shaoji or Shonshajai. I'm not sure how to pronounce it. Excuse my Japanese. But that was a map of how big it is. This was like a garden area that was absolutely beautiful, with a more stonework and statues and just greenery, like a garden. Then you walk down that path, and there was benches where you could sit down and eat, and you hit like a pond, and it was just beautiful. We sat there and had lunch. There are some koi fish that were in the pond swimming and leaping, so there's a look at that. A lot of birds. Here's another building. This building, you can kind of see the color a little bit better. That building was closed, but they were getting it ready. And then this was a hall. And this hall, I think it was the Ganduki Hall, was one of the only places where they had a sign so that you could tell what it actually was. So they're doing a lot of work, so hopefully they will put more English signs out there, because it would be nice to look and see what all the buildings represent and mean. So you can also take that same bus down to the Ion Mall there in Narita. And here I am entering the mall. And when you first go into the mall, this is the food court. And what I like about the restaurants in Japan are all the restaurants on the outside have this displays of plastic food that are replicas of food that they serve in the restaurant. So if you don't speak Japanese, then it kind of helps you figure out what's on the menu and what it may be that you like to eat. So here is the mall. And see here to the left, that was an Italian place. I don't know if you could really tell, but that was an example of some of the plastic food that they show that replicated. So here I am going into the mall. And a cool thing about the malls in Japan is they have gaming sections. So if you're a gamer, you definitely want to visit the mall in Japan and go get your game on. There's people playing the games. So also in the Aeon Center, there is a shopping center that's more like a major department store. There's makeup, there's furniture, there's refrigerators. Sorry for the shoddy camera work, but that's what I'm showing you here. And as you keep going in the back of that, there's a supermarket where you can go grocery shopping. So I like to grocery shop in Japan because the food there is one of my favorites. And so here I am in the grocery store. There is sushi for all my sushi lovers out there. So good and fresh. There's also just station after station of different food. Here's some of the vegetables and the fruit, as you can see. That was some noodles, I believe. And I like more noodles and salads. All of this stuff is already prepared. Yen is the money in Japan too. I know I didn't show yen. Sorry, I'll have to do it next time I go to Japan. Look at the shopping basket. I love that. You can take your little hand carry shopping basket like we have here in the States, and you can put it in the basket. There's some already made noodles to go. And here is also the prepaid meat. They had a beautiful, beautiful tempura station. It's another shopping basket. Here is the tempura. Love tempura. There's a station with all this different skewered meats. And then there's seafood. They do theirs different there. There you can just grab a piece of tongs, a pair of tongs, excuse me, and help yourself to whatever seafood. So something a little different that they do in Japan that we don't do here in the United States. And there's the worker. So here's the restaurant we ate at. I don't know the name of it because, like I said, I don't speak Japanese, but there's, again, another display of the food. They serve katsu, which is a very popular Japanese dish. It's usually breaded pork or chicken. And this restaurant, I think we ate lunch for about 1,200 yen. So there is the menu. And if you read Japanese, then you can put in the comments down below what the name of this restaurant is. And they brought out green tea. That's the green tea. That is a warm towel to clean your hands and the chopsticks. I love the presentation in Japan. So there's the tempura shrimp. That's the katsu with the shredded cabbage. The rice, of course. That was like a potato salad. And then you get a soup, which was kind of like a miso soup, but it had like potatoes in it, ginger to clean your palate after you eat. And it was for 1,200 yen. So anyway, that was my trip to Narita, Japan. I hope you enjoyed my video. Thanks for watching. Remember to subscribe to my channel. Keep God first and create your own opportunities.